Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. What's happening? Hey, hey guys, Professor Bill,
I see
Comic
that
Book
people
University.
are.
Sorry, for some reason my live stream was actually playing. That's really freaking weird. Anyway, so how's everybody doing? So, yeah, I see there's some Bill Maher controversy going on. What's up, guys? Are we not happy with Bill Maher? Is Bill Maher just like the biggest effing idiot on the face of the planet? Because I would like to think so. Oh man, I forgot to do the info setting and all that stuff to share this. My bad. So let me see if I can't. What do you call it? Share some of this stuff out on Twitter and all that good stuff. Where's my share button? There we go. Let's go to Twitter and let's put out that this is live. Okay. Anyway, okay, that's done. So anyway, what's happening, guys? Yeah, I'm seeing there's some people there. They're kind of upset with Bill Maher. I don't see what did he do that's so bad. I don't get it. What did he do that's so bad? Did a well, let's just put it. Facts being facts. Did a jerk from Jersey named Bill say something really messed up? I hate that I share so much topographically with him. Guys, how's my sound, by the way? Forgot to ask. We should be good, right? I actually tried to fix the settings from last week. You guys let me know if my sound is okay, please. I rely on you for that. So let's go through and see who's here. Samuel Harper, Mark Guerrero, R Sarcasm, Dick Fillmore, what's up? Special K33, Comic Sam 18. Alright, so it's two people I'm not familiar with seeing all the time, Samuel Harper and Comic Sam 18. What's up, guys? Corey Irwin, Mark Guerrero. What else we got here? Yeto, what's going on, Yeto? Oh yeah, dude, Flash Thompson's been going for a little while, but he's good people, man. He'll be back. He'll be back with comic book greatness. And Comic Fan is here, and PA Paula, what's up? Mr. Stark is here. What's up there? Army Hammer's pretty horrible. People grieving for Stanley recently too. Rantor Tim is here. Sean Sedrai is here. Oh, just jumped. I don't think I missed anybody. JJB is here. Sebastian Orduz O is here. Henry Pierce is here. JD. Nigel Red. Okay, cool. It's funny, I'm looking at Nigel's thing right now. Yes, Bill Maher is basically a jackass. I don't know how else to put it. I think we know this. Look, Bill Maher isn't one of those guys where, oh, Raven, sorry, hey, I think I did actually see you up there, and for some reason I just overpassed you. Sorry. I did jump at that one point. What's going on, man? But they, what happened? Bill Maher, here's a guy who, it's like you'd figure he'd been around long enough to understand that you don't have to be edgy all the time in order to get ahead. You'd figure that he would understand. What's up, Subham? You'd figure that he would get it. He would just get it. That if you've got something intelligent to say, people will come. People will come. You know what I'm saying? And that's been the case with him forever. It's been the case with him with Political Correct. What's up, Tam Tam? Political Correct was a really, really good show. I liked that show. It was a little bit confusing, a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. Dodora73, what's up? Oh, thank you. My Autobots represent. His politically incorrect show, that he's currently doing, all that stuff, whatever. It's good stuff, all right? He's got some really good points. He is an intelligent person. He really is. The problem is, he will try and do things that are edgy. He will try and do things that are a little bit much. Just for the sake of... See, that's the thing, JJB. I don't even consider him as a professional troll. Thank you, Dick. Somebody finally complimenting. Yes, of course I'm wearing a Autobot shirt. Sebastian, gotta represent. the death of all the Transformers. But anyway, He is an intelligent. Here's the thing. Here's something that's very important to always remember. And I hate giving life advice because we're all alive, so why am I giving advice on how to live? But at the end of the day, this is something that I've noticed. It doesn't matter which side you're on. If somebody's being unreasonable, you don't listen to those people. You never tolerate a fascist, all right? Never tolerate a fascist. I'm not comparing Bill Maher to a fascist. You never tolerate a fascist because a fascist is somebody who's going to use the rights that you give to them and the decency that you give to them in order to take away your rights and your speech and your freedoms. So you never tolerate someone who's advertising that he wants to take away your rights. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's crucially important. But aside from somebody like that, you got to give a modicum of respect to whoever you're dealing with. Otherwise, you're coming from a place of hatred and anger, and you're never gonna reach your audience that way. You're never gonna convince anybody that way. It's important to understand that Bill Maher is a very intelligent person. He really is. And I don't think that he's an evil person at all. I really don't. But he does have some beliefs. He does talk about things that I don't think that he really researches as much as he should. And sometimes he does decide to just get a little bit edgy. He'll say things that he thinks is going to be cool and is going to get a bunch of people on his side. He thinks that he's way cooler than he actually is, okay? I'm going to tell you something that some people are going to be really pissed off at me about, but this is who I am. I used to say the N-word, all right? Never said it in a racist format, all right? Rather, I went to Asbury Park High School. I was one of, count 'em, 6 white kids in the whole school. That's not just I was there for my freshman year, the second half of my freshman year. I was not just one of 6 white males in my class or in my grade. No, one of 6 white kids in the whole school. All 4 years of high school, I was one of 6. All right. The staff was. I kind of remember there being a lot of staff, but I remember like the principal and the vice principal were black. You know what I'm saying? I remember easily half of my teachers had to be black. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a good, I don't know, like it was very balanced, I guess. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of regards. But I used to be allowed, and I mean it that way, allowed to say the black or the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Because I was I don't know, just permitted. It was something that was always said. It was a word of camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I could say it, and it was cool because people knew me. People knew that I didn't mean it in that sort of a way. Now, one of my favorite like camaraderie moments I remember is I was in the weight room. That was one of my big things. I always went to the weight room, not to power lift at that time. I started powerlifting much later in my life. Lost all of that, except for the chest. I still got the chest. But what do you call it? I remember telling everybody that I was going to move away to a different school, and they're like, "I know that school." They're like all white. I was like, "I know." And I remember one of the guys saying, "You can't leave. You can't go to that school. You're black." And I remember just like it was such a. I really was accepted here. I've almost never been accepted in a school before because I've always been that outsider. Like it was a heart-wrenching moment for me. I'm like, damn, I don't want to leave. I really, really loved it in that school. I loved it there. But when I went to this other school, this mostly white school, there was this one, he's Polynesian or whatever, and a kid, and I remember we were joking around, and he said something like, we were in gym class, and he was like, I'm gonna score you out on the first hit. And I said, "N, please." 10th grade. And I thought it was okay because it was okay in my other school, and now I was put in a completely different environment, and it was one of those situations where it's like, people, this guy specifically looked at me and said, "What did you just say?" And I didn't understand. So the conversation went on for a little while. I'm like, "What are you?" It went on for like 2 or 3 more volleys. I'm like, "Dude, what did I say that's so bad?" And suddenly I realized what's going on. "I'm going to tell everybody in the school that you're a racist." Okay. Okay. Most of the kids here are white anyway. Who cares? He made the mistake of going to my buddy Rodney, who I didn't go to, he never went to Asbury High School, but he was in the school that I was in before that. I bounced around schools a lot. I was in the school with him whatever before that, before I left Jersey and came back. And so I went to 7th and 8th grade with him. And he wound up coming to this school later on. And it's hysterical because he came up to me and he was mad at me at first. And I was like, Rodney, do you honestly think that I would call you that? Because he said that I called him that. I said, do you honestly think I would call you that? And he's like, no. No, I don't even know that other dude. Yo, what the hell? Like, that's the kind of anger and hatred that word can give. Like, of all the words that you could think of in the world, the N-word is a word that will get people to cross the street, either away from you or towards you, ready to knock you on your ass. Now, that being said, why the hell would a dumbass like this moron, Bill Maher, think that it's okay to use the N-word? I don't know. You guys can actually go back and check that out on YouTube, how he said that. He used the word, he said, House N. And he was trying to say it like you could see the posture he was taking while he was saying it. He was trying to be edgy and say something cool and get people to be like, but the other guy felt uncomfortable. It's like, that's a word we're not supposed to say, right? We're not supposed to say that word, right? Like, yeah. And he's just all sitting back like, what? What? These are my people. I can say this and it's okay. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. And look what happened. He had to go and he had to ask them, but please tell them I'm not a racist. You're a popular guy amongst the black community, and my show is going to be canceled. Can you please help me out? He had to go and he had to ask people for help. That sucks. It sucks for him. But he was forgiven. He was allowed to move on. Here's a guy he used to date. Freaking, what the heck is that girl's name? Really skinny blonde chick with the Adam's apple. Ann Coulter. He used to date Ann Coulter. Yeah, he used to date Ann Coulter. They still sleep around once in a while. You can tell. You can tell. Anyway, this guy hangs out he's just one of those guys who he's not very different from Ann Coulter. He applies to his side, says some edgy things, and then he makes money off of that. And then, right over here, boom, there you go. Mr. Stark, I'm going to agree with you. I don't believe that anybody should say that word. Honestly, I was just watching, for the first time, Dick Fillmore's going to kick my ass. But every time I say I haven't watched a movie, he's ready to kick my ass. I haven't watched The Hateful Eight before, and I just watched it for the first time last night with my wife. The N-bomb wasn't dropped in that movie quite as much as it's dropped in other Quentin Tarantino movies, but it was still dropped an awful lot. A lot. And I hate watching movies like that, because when you watch a movie or you watch a show, you watch something, you get a certain level of familiarity there, and it's like, Dick Fillmore, you're right, but that's not actually the word that Latinos use to describe a black person. That's to describe a color. Like you could say, what's the word for beans? Why can't I remember the word for beans right now? I'm on the spot. But anyway, you could use that word to describe negro is the word to describe beans or the color of something, but not a black person. So they wouldn't say it like that. Yeah, there you go. Frijoles, thank you. Thank you, JJB. But hey, if you know that, what's the word that's actually used for black people in Spanish? Because yeah, it is a very different word, and it's not frijoles. Although that'd be funny. It's Frito-Lays. What do you call it? Anyway, this guy, he's smart, but he's not the ER at the end isn't the problem, because it doesn't matter how you say it. Sometimes it's the context, sometimes it's just whatever. Sometimes you just get a weird feeling when somebody says it, whatever it is. I'm just of the opinion that nobody should say it. Seriously, not even black people. Everybody has the right to say what they want, but if somebody says that when they're around somebody else and somebody else decides to say that word, somebody who's not supposed to say that word, you kind of only have but so much to, you only have but so much leeway. You know what I'm saying? To get away with. Like, I can say the word, but you can't say that word. No, that's not the way that it should be. That just doesn't make any kind of sense. Anyway, he's a smart guy. but he's not the wisest guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? He's done some really dumb things. He's said some really dumb things to try and be edgy. And he's gotten himself into trouble for them before. His Islamophobia, a lot of different things that he's done is just really silly. So at the end of the day, he just decided, he thought to himself, I'm going to say something that's a little bit edgy. And he did it by making fun of a guy who's dead. Look, if you guys, like if the guy doesn't care about Stan Lee, that's his right. But he's got to understand that this is a capitalistic world, and we can all just be like, you know what? Boycott. Bye. There's the conversation at this point. We don't want to hear from you anymore. And at the end of the day, realistically, I kind of don't want to hear from it anymore either. So, with that being said, I am going to try and put a wrap to this. I did want to talk about it. Obviously, I had it right up on the front. But I'm going to kind of put a wrap to this guy right here. Try and fill in the spot with a slightly better view, because I don't really feel like looking at him for the rest of this podcast. So therefore, let's go on ahead and continue on with some actual serious comic book goodness, my peeps, because yeah! Whoa, and right away I see in bold, Subham talks about Let's Talk Cyclops. So that's weird. Subham, I almost never hear you talking about Cyclops. I almost never hear you talking about Cyclops. What's going on with that? No, I know. You nothing but talk about Cyclops. Dick Fillmore, man. You gotta love this guy. Okay, Caleb. Professor, what do you think about the future of the Uncanny X-Men? I was curious how many people were going to be writing this story. Like, you got 3 amazing people writing this story, and I didn't know who was going to be the one person to stay on the story. Turns out it's going to be Rosenberg. Cool. I think that we're in good hands, especially since he's already, like, Kelly Thompson's already writing something for the X-Men. She's writing Rogue and Gambit, Mr. and Mrs. X, you know? Cool. Get your X-Men fix there. She can incorporate anybody she wants in the story at any time, and it'll be awesome. You know, cool. Rosenberg, he wrote this crazy story with the Dead Souls, New Mutants Dead Souls, that hasn't been resolved. He just wound up doing the one thing recently, Multiple Man. You know what I'm saying? And now the Multiple Man story seems to be incorporated in here. So it looks like there's going to be a whole lot in here, and it could be fun. It could actually be really fun. So let's see where that goes. I think it's going to be good, but I do know that I do feel that Rosenberg sometimes is better, at least in the X category, the X-Men category, with short stories, or what do you call it? The sorry guys, still not much better. The miniseries. You know what I'm saying? He's great with long-term stories, like Punisher. He's great in. But with the X-Men stories, I haven't liked his longer-term stories much. Ooh, chocolate milk. Sometimes even the professor eats and drinks unhealthily. Okay, so, what is this here? What's something else I could just grab onto next? What World War II DC hero would you want to see Captain America team up with? I'd go with Blackhawks. See, the Blackhawks almost sounds perfect, doesn't it? They fly. They don't always fly. I don't know. What, they'd be good as a backdrop. That's the thing. I'm gonna associate the Blackhawks with, like, Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in there, but it's almost like they're the backdrop of the story. Captain America's the star. I don't want to see the Blackhawks be a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? So they could help. I would like it if they had a run-in. And we can also have, like, you know, what'd be cool is Blackhawks and the Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. That would be a badass crossover. I would love to see that. You know, as far as Captain America teaming up with a World War II hero, yeah, I'm like trying to think of the. I'm not as familiar with the DC World War II type heroes as I am with the others, but you know, as I am with the Marvel characters. Because I did get into Marvel a lot, or like got into, but oh, you know what? Right there, JD suggests the Unknown Soldier. I'm gonna go with that because I do love the Unknown Soldier. What a great story. Okay, so let's go the Destroyer, Spy Smasher. Spy Smasher would be good. Viking Commando. You know what? Dick's got me on that one. I don't know. I can't even picture an image in my head of the Viking Commando. So nice one, dude. Gene Apocalypse was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in Marvel comic books. What is Gene Apocalypse? Is that Gene as Apocalypse? I didn't see that. A great Transformers writer called Simon Furman tried and failed twice to explain the Fembot, but how do I put this? It was misogynistic and transphobic, losing respect for the Phantom, from the Phantom. Wow, that sucks. Deathstroke wasn't World War II, but yeah, I hear you. That would be kind of cool. Wow, I didn't know that. You know, the Fembots are a funny thing. Because, like, I remember my wife said to me one time, this was a couple of years ago, she says, how come all the Transformers are boys? And I looked at her, I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, they're all men. Like, they're robots. Do you think that there are little robotic penises floating around under there somewhere? Like, what are you talking? Like, there's a little winch and they just like, what are you talking about? They're robots. I don't see robots as men or women. What are you talking about? It was like the weirdest thing to me. She's like, they're obviously drawn to be muscular and masculine, blah blah blah. And they got the tough guy voices and stuff like this. Like, yeah. Especially Bumblebee, great tough guy voice, right? It's like, no. On average, they're all like they're guys. They're obviously guys. Like, okay. So then I showed her the Fembots. I showed her RC specifically, and then I gave her a comic book, a one-shot with Windblade. I was like, read this. Check this out. And she's like, this is stupid. I was like, well, how's this stupid? She's like, they're just putting boobs on Transformers and making them skinnier. How does that make them women? Like, how do boobs and a slighter frame make a woman? You're losing me here. So, like, it's a weird thing. Sometimes people complain, and I don't really know where the complaints are coming from. And yes, that includes my wife, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Whatever it is. Honestly, I think when writers do it and artists do it, I think it's just a way to try and be more inclusive. But robots in and of themselves, I think, should be the most inclusive. You know, it's weird. Okay, so still haven't drank that green tea yet. No, actually, I don't. I usually only drink green tea when I start to lose my voice, like really bad, and like it gets painfully Brillo papery and scratchy and hurtful. So, but her main picture is her as Apocalypse. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's what you meant. I gotcha. Psychopath. Bender is a male robot. Futurama. Oh, okay. You know, I think I watched the first the first episode of. I just didn't like Futurama. Here comes another slap. Drink chai tea. Oh, that's always a funny one for me, Supam. Chai means tea, and I know you know that, but chai means tea. So it's like, do you ever drink tea? Don't forget 10 things about Manifold. Yeah, no, you're right. I need a good reason to jump on that. I need to put out the Eternals in a really bad way because, you know, the movie's coming out. I should also probably do Marvel. And, yeah, I should probably, you know, I just, when the movies are coming out, I really want to try and put those out because that's the key time to put those out. And right now, unfortunately, Manifold is simply he's not in a single comic book right now. He's mentioned in the Black Panther comic. Key word to kind of put in there to understand the reference, right? But yeah, he's not in any of the comics right now, so it's. I will. What's this blast? Oh, jeez. Advice: cough syrup. You know, I hate taking medicine. That's something about me. I hate oh, Sergeant Rock, good idea. Late to the game, but yes, that works, Rantor. I hate taking medicine, including cough drops. I hate the idea of it. I was even thinking about going to get a flu shot because inoculations is one thing, but regular, like over-the-counter medicines and things like that, it's usually just curing the symptoms. And for me, I don't like to just cure symptoms. Just doesn't really do it for me. I use it as an excuse to drink more water. And it's funny because the top of my lip, my top lip right in the middle where the little, I don't know, thing goes, it's a little bit raw. I guess licking my lips, which means that I'm dehydrated. I'm like, you know, first getting around the second stage of dehydration, which is Yeah, pretty bad. But like, I'm obviously not feeling it. But little signs like that. That's like, if your lips are dry, use chapstick. Okay, but that's just covering the symptoms. The cure is to drink more water. And if I do put on chapstick to make the symptom go away, I'm going to forget all the time that I have to drink water. Every time that I lick my lips and I feel that rough spot there, that rough patch, I remember, oh crap, I need to go and, guzzle, drink some water to rehydrate my body to get myself, so I don't like to take away the symptoms. I'm okay with pain, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. If I get shot, fine. I'll probably go with a little bit of morphine. I'll probably be drugged. I'm like, it freaking hurts, and bullets hurt. At least until it cools down. Jesus, hurts. But, no, in general, I'm good. I usually try to avoid medicines. Let's see. Favorite Sebastian says, what's your favorite Hasbro property? Oh, it would definitely be the Transformers. Absolutely be the Transformers. Yeah, like, gee, you guys should see some of the Transformers I have. I just don't feel like bringing them down. And I really do want to get more, but they keep on throwing out these Marvel Legends figures. And I'm mad because I don't have an Aquaman. I want an Aquaman figure so bad. But I see 3 of them, like in Gotham Central Comics and Collectibles, I see 3 of them. And they suck, as far as I'm concerned. One of them is actually really good, but it's a 7-incher, and I want them all to be 6-inchers. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to match up in case I make them fight each other. Because I do that sometimes. Oh, you guys! I completed my I got my what is it? This Captain America. I got this cat. Speaking of the Marvel Legends characters, I got this one, and he came with the right arm of Abomination. So I now have the entire Abomination figure. I'm so happy. And he's like, he's a good size for that Hulk up there, but the Gladiator Hulk comes up to about here on him. So it's not a fair fight. But, oh man, I finally got my Abomination figure. I am so happy. Now I just need to get the arms for, what do you call it, Sandman. And where's I'm trying to remember where my Absorbing Man figure is. I don't remember where he is, but I think I just need the head. Oh, here's Sandman. So yeah, I just need to get the arms. And the extra hands for the Sandman, but I got everything else for him, and then my other guys in there at some point. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get all these. Did you just golf clap me? Did you just golf clap me? Bite me. Let's see. Hey, BMA Comics, what's going on, brother? Laugh out loud. Those briefs. What briefs? What do you look at? My briefs? I'm not wearing briefs. I'm wearing. Are you talking about like what I'm wearing? Can you see that? Is there a Titanium figure? Not recently. I don't know what's been out there for a while, but anyway, DC hasn't had any good figures yet. Yeah, the Legends figures are pretty cool. Like I've got a couple cool Legends. I could take down my Firestorm, but it's not gonna. It's hard to put him up. I've got him actually flying. Up here. It looks good, and he's on thumbtacks, and he's on a precarious perch, and I'm afraid that if I move him the wrong way, he's just going to fall off, and he's balancing his cosmic powers and everything. Anyway, so, yes, yeah. I can bring him down and show you. I like the Legends figures to a degree, but they're not nearly as posable. Excuse me, the DC Icons. I like the DC Icons figures. They're 6-inch, everything. The scale's perfect, but I don't like their posability. They're not as posable as the Marvel Legends figures. And unfortunately, they don't come with a bath. So DC used to be the best. The DC Legends were the best out there. The absolute hands down best. And you could build the figures and everything. I was thinking for the longest time that, oops, just dropped my mojo, that I was going to be able to build my, what the heck is this guy's name again? I can't remember. I've only got the chest, you know what I'm saying? But this, the guy with... Lash, whatever. The guy with the tongue. The Yellow Lantern with Sinestro Corps with the tongue. Love that character. Such an amazing, badass character. Yeah, anyway. So, what else? Arkillo, thank you, Subham. Yes, Arkillo, and Sean jumps in right afterwards. Arkillo is awesome, man. I would love to have that character. But, yeah, just don't. I prefer the sculpts DC Direct had. No articulation, though. the direct figures, Marvel or DC, those direct figures are terrible in that regard. They look great, but only in the pose that they give you. And you can have a tiny bit of leeway after that. Nope, not happy. Not happy with it. Segment? What? You have stuff for the segment? Let's see what you have here. Let me unplug this puppy. What you got? What you want? What? So, no! Stop asking me for the darn software update. They're still asking me for the software update for this thing, man. It's really starting to bother me. Okay, so on Twitter. What do we have on the Twitter machine? Oh, something's been interfering with my my Chrome, my Microsoft Chrome. I'm thinking about just switching over to something else just because Torch is actually pretty good. Torch is my favorite one so far besides, what do you call it, Chrome. For some reason, Chrome is getting corrupted with something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll uninstall it, reinstall it. I just hate the idea of that. Possibly losing all my passwords. Really annoying. But anyway. Checka. Okay, I think we're good there. Okay, so let's check out what we have here. We've got, oh crap. You sent me a lot this week, man. Hey, can't be sending me this much. What? Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Blood Tide. But what do we got here? The Defenders variant. That's actually really beautiful, man. That actually looks like the old school art for these Defenders characters. And they got the Stan Lee Memorial up on top. That's cool. Guardians of the Galaxy. What? Guardians of the Galaxy 152. Okay, 152. So that means Guardians of the Galaxy finished with issue number 150. So when Donny Cates' new Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, it's going to be Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 1, but technically issue 151. So with issue number 2, or 152, that's where it's coming from, who will be the new Thanos? That is freaky, man. Wow. So it's Cates, man. I trust. If it was anybody else, I don't think I'd have gone for that. Do yourself a favor, mate. Ghost World says download LastPass. It's a password manager that's not tied to one browser, so you can uninstall, delete browsers, and retain all of your passwords. I'm scared of doing that. I don't have anything on my computer that saves any address, monetary information, or even passwords. I actually don't write down my passwords. I memorize them. And I do use different passwords for everything. Sometimes it's a combination of other passwords, sometimes it's not. So, yeah, I'm really nervous about stuff like that. I'm a weird guy, man. Like, I know I'm like, I'm on YouTube, and everyone's like, no, I love Professor Bill's stuff, but in real life, I'm annoying. I do things weird. I'm one of those weird people who doesn't like to sit with my back towards a door, and I'm really freaked out if there are two doors, like on opposite sides of a room. It's like, okay, well, I'm obviously sitting in the middle, you know, and it's just like, nobody's out to get me. Nobody's out to get me. But at the same time, I still think that way, you know what I'm saying? When somebody walks up, oh, hey, Bill. I'm like, okay, I don't recognize this guy's face. Who is this guy? And I start thinking, I'm going to have to tackle this guy or something. It's like, you know, oh, I see you on the internet. Oh, okay, he's pretty cool. Wait, maybe he's a comic skater. Get ready. It's like, I never know. I'm really weird like that. But, what do we got here? Let's see what else. Let's segue into a different subject. Age of X-Men. Okay, I'm actually really interested in this Age of X-Men stuff. Age of X-Men Prisoner X, issue number 1 of 5. So check this out. Check out this team that's on there. That's pretty sick. So this Age of X-Men, obviously it's got to be Nate Gray. A lot of people, so Polaris is in there. That's awesome. Actually, yo, is that my girl? Okay, I don't know who this character is, but that looks like Bishop, Beast, Polaris, and, oh, for crying out loud, I'm having a brain fart, and I can't remember her name. Is this Trinary, or is this, oh, for crying out loud. Moonstar? Why am I blanking out like this? Yeah, Danny Moonstar. Thank you, Sean. Yes, Danny Moonstar. Freaking awesome. I'm confused. Like, is it Moonstone? It's not Moonstone. Moonstone is the Captain Marvel enemy. Crap. What's her name? So awesome! It's about time. They've been wondering where the hell she was, and they did show her briefly in Oh, well, Rosenberg. Yeah, Rosenberg's going to be writing stuff. Who's writing this? We don't know, huh? But Rosenberg wrote her briefly. You got to see an image of her in, I think, issue 5 of 5 or 6 of 6. I think it was 5 of 5, whatever it was, of the Thing. You know, the Thing, the New Mutants Dead Souls. They did it there. So, yeah, that was, you know, at least she's still alive someplace. That's all I care about. All right, what's this? Age of X-Men. This is, the Extremists. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of Age of X-Men books. I don't know how I feel about that. But, okay, well, can I get a... There we go, an image where it's not so hyper bright. So, there we go. This is the Age of X-Men, The Extremists, issue number 1 of 5. I'm not feeling that. Not feeling that. The War of the Realms looks awesome. Can you... turn? No, you're not going to turn. There we go. War of Realms looks pretty fun. Daredevil with a sword, everybody's freaking out. He was just wielding a sword in the recent run. The run that's actually currently happening, like 2 storylines ago. And then, what's this? An X-Force variant. Yep, the new X-Force. What the hell is this? Do we now have... I know Deathlock is on the team now. Does Deathlock have the hot claws? Is that what's going on? Because that's actually kind of funny. Deathlock now has the hot claws. Alright, let's do this. So, okay, and that's it. Thank you, Sean. Oh, crap. Anyway, here, just really quick. Sean s.h.i.e.l.d., Eye of Agamotto, bang, there you go. Okay, let's go back to... Sorry, I want to look at Stan Lee as I'm doing this stuff. Oh, look at Dick. Dick, what's the matter, man? Dude skipped most of the stuff before Prisoner X. What? I skipped stuff? I just did what I could, man. I can't keep going all the way back. I didn't skip that much stuff. I think like, did you send more stuff? Let me look. Age of X-Men will have 32 issues total. That's crazy. Different passwords, put them in 2 notebooks. Ooh, and I could write them in code, too. No, I'm good. See, I come from y'all gotta remember, I know there's a lot of millennials out there. And look, I'm not one of those old people who's gonna make fun of millennials. I love and appreciate and respect millennials because you guys are not wrong, all right? In your, being upset. You sound from MA. I don't know what MA means, Griffo. Explain, please. I'm cool with millennials. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have a rough lot in life, and us kids from the 70s and 80s, we got a pretty rough life too. The trick of it is that that you guys are at least talking about it. And for us, for my generation, it was always a bad thing. No, not Massachusetts. I'm from Jersey, actually. The thing that's tricky about my accent is that I also spend a lot of time out in Ohio, so I've got a different kind of R sound. I'll drag out my R's a little bit. While Jersey doesn't... A lot of people confuse the Jersey accent with the what the hell is it called? The Brooklyn accent. Where it's like Brooklyn. No, we don't make a W sound for our R's, but we don't usually draw it out as much as I will. I'll actually I'll turn my lips to the side for an R sound. But anyway, yeah, you're right. I did actually miss something. Here we go. The reason why you're thinking I'm from Massachusetts or from Bossy or something like that is because I am Italian. So that's most of it. Italian and Cherokee is most of my my ancestry. So Age of X-Men, The Amazing Nightcrawler, issue number 1 of 5. That's cool that Nightcrawler's getting another little run. I didn't realize these are all things. Age of X-Men Next Gen, issue number 1 of 5. Let's try it. There we go. Not so darkened. I actually did miss a lot. I didn't realize that. The Marvelous Age of X-Men, The Marvelous X-Men, 1 of 5. Okay, I hope that these aren't just a whole bunch of individual stories that aren't going to have any future bearing. Apocalypse and the Extracts. Okay, this is actually starting to get a bit too much right now. This is one of those things where Marvel doesn't understand why people are going bankrupt reading comic books. You know what I'm saying? Wow, they need to slow the heck down. Pirate, arr. Not quite that bad, but yeah. So, what do we got there? Marvelous X-Men will be fun. I hope so. Oh, you're from Massachusetts? Cool, man. Do you drink from bubblers? I don't know what bubblers is, JD. Hope we see Subham says, Mark says, hope we see Jon Stewart in Black Lightning. That'd be cool. Maybe finally make him Lynn's brother. Subham says, what do you think about the rumor that Disney will be rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean with female pirates? They just came out with that recently. And they just touched on that story recently. That would be awesome. I'd be down with that. And I don't know about replacing everybody. But, if people aren't going to be charging too much to come back and be, I don't know if they want to completely reboot it, but whatever. At the end of the day, I don't know, it's a weird kind of thing. It's like you could reboot it with all women and things like that if your Pirates property is really that hot, but couldn't you just, instead of rebooting it, couldn't you just have a movie where, hey, look, here's something else. Here's, they come across a different pirate ship, and now you have Johnny Depp and his crew interacting with this all-female pirate crew. So now it's not a reboot, it's, hey look, we're passing on the torch. Would that be so bad? Plus everybody gets, plus it's not, a cold stop for everybody. It's like, oh, they're rebooting all my characters. Most of the people who watched, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, I think they usually watched it because they love Johnny Depp. I'm sure a lot of the women watched it because of they loved Orlando Bloom. But I think a lot of the women also liked it because of Johnny Depp. So, I think Johnny Depp was the main attraction for Pirates of the Caribbean. So now it's a full stop. Sorry, you're not going to get any more, and we're replacing them with all women. Yeah, what you could just do is, like I said, have it be an interaction, and then veer off from that point on. Have Johnny Depp and the other pirates actually get a chance to say goodbye. How sweet would that be? And then all of a sudden, you turn around and it's like, no, but we're going to keep going. And then, how cool would it be for the female pirates to say to Johnny Depp and the crew as they're leaving, we'll see you again, something like that. Or for Johnny Depp and the guys to say, you haven't seen The Last of Us. Something like that. How cool would that be? So it would be a heartwarming moment. And the stories will still continue, You can make it that she's, the main pirate is Johnny Depp's daughter, something to that effect. There's so many different ways they can do it instead of just, we're just going to do a reboot. Don't do reboots, and don't do reboots just by putting girls in the role. That doesn't mean anything. Give it some substance. Movies don't have any substance anymore, dude. I just talked a bit about movies in my Titans review that I threw up recently. I shouldn't talk about throwing up when I feel the way that I feel. Just saying. Dick Fillmore, bubblers are water pipes from the West Coast. Oh, yeah, I'm not from the West Coast. In fact, the farthest I've ever been West Coast, non-military related, was, because that barely counts. Being on a military base doesn't count as, in California, doesn't qualify as actually being in California. It's being on a military base. They all look pretty much the same. But the farthest I was ever living out at was New Mexico. So, yeah, I never even made it out to Arizona, So, what do we got there? Yeah. So, I never been to Nevada, Las Vegas, Carson City, Reno, any of those places. Never been to California. Go figure. I heard Grindelwald might be recast. Grindelwald. He's gonna be in the next movie. I don't know. I don't see the point in having Grindelwald being Grindelwald. Isn't that the guy that Johnny Depp is playing? Because I really liked having the other guy. I know his name, Farrell, whatever. The guy who played Bullseye in the original Deadpool movie. Deadpool. The other guy in red. Daredevil. In the Daredevil movie, I loved him. He was awesome in that. And I'm talking about the Harry Potter-esque movie. I thought that was really good. And yeah, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. J.K. Rowling decided against recasting. Does she have that much say in the movies? That's kind of cool. Hope we see Nightwing and Flamebird in Krypton. That could actually be kind of fun. Holy crap! Who said that? Because you deserve some serious credit on that. Mark Guerrero. Effing great point. You guys try to remember that the original inspiration for Dick Grayson taking on the Nightwing mantle was that the original Nightwing was actually Superman and Flamebird as Nightwing and Flamebird, and they were in the they were superheroes, unpowered superheroes on Krypton. It's just a story that they told. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but it's the idea. You already have Zod, and I didn't expect to see freaking Drew Zod show up in that Superman or the Krypton TV series. But Drew Zod showed up. I'm like, cool. What are they going to do with him? And I don't think that it was necessary. But if you can have him show up, wouldn't it be cool to have Superman show up too at this point? Kal-El shows up, gets to meet some of his family, but he's got to disguise himself because you can't just go out there and say, oh, you're from the future. We got you now. So he could disguise himself as Nightwing and then get, his grandfather at this point to portray, what's his face? The hair thing. His father, to portray Flamebird. I'm just saying, how sick would that be? That would be very cool. That's a great idea. I like that. Rantor, how many of these Infinity Warps just jumped? Are we gonna have a chance to spawn into something of its own? I'm hoping none of them. Actually, I shouldn't really say that, but at the end of the day, I don't think any of them really will be. Brevin Campbell just showed up. What's up, dude? Saiyan Quad, what's going on? Brett Hess Art, what's up? So, what do we got? We're going to buy Detective Comics, but Art didn't warrant $3.99. I didn't even read Detective Comics, and I got it on digital, and I'm thinking I shouldn't have even bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got it, I'm like, do I even really want to read it? I don't think I do. But whatever, it is what it is. The Door 73, sup? I retired from the Navy. Retired from the Navy in July of 2011 and have been collecting comic books from that point on. While you were in the military, it must have been hard for you to read and collect comic books. It was impossible because I would have needed people to send me those comic books, and I never had that opportunity. So, no. Yeah, I was not able to. There were a couple of times that I wasn't able to be exposed to comic books anymore. I left comic books. Actually, when I got out of the military, I didn't start reading comic books again for years. You know what I'm saying? So I went in. I joined the military in 93. I was still 17 years old, and I joined. And then I haven't really touched comic books again. My buddy Chris was talking to me in, I forget what year it was, but whatever, about House of M and about some Green Lantern stuff that was going on. I'm just like, all right, cool. It sounds great. But he really started getting me interested in the House of M stuff. And then all of a sudden the Civil War stuff came out, and I just started reading this stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing! And comic books weren't that expensive back then, for the most part. And I was able to go back to Avengers Disassembled and get all this stuff and just see the changes and get some of the older stuff and just start reading my ass off. The Ultimate Spider-Man, and read the Ultimate Universe, the rest of the stuff that wound up coming out afterwards. Wow. Yeah. I wound up going on a comic book binge. And then I left comic books again because I moved to Saudi Arabia. I lost all the comic books that I had, and I was working out there for like 5 years, came back, and all of a sudden, I want more comic books. There's a comic book shop inside the Fort Leonard Wood PX. Are you kidding me? That is awesome. Yeah, I went to AIT in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for 88 Mike truck driving. And Fort Lost in the Woods, we always called it. That's in Missouri, if anybody's curious, Missouri. And no, that's awesome. I remember there's a couple things you're always going to find in a town outside of a military base, which will always inevitably be called a military town, even if no soldiers actually live there. It's always called a military town because the soldiers are what keeps it available. There's always going to be a couple of hotels, like a minimum of 2. There's always going to be a strip bar, strip joint, type bar. There's going to be a regular bar, but the strip bars make more money. And there's going to be a pawn shop. All right. Also, a place to get tattoos. There's always going to be stuff like that outside of a military town, or outside of a military base. So the pawn shop would actually have some comic books in there, and I used to flip through them really quick. That's awesome that that those are there. Let's see. Since Disney bought Fox, the X-Men are meant to be in the MCU. Where have they been? Whoa, whoa, whoa! You also got to understand, saying that the deal isn't cinched. Oh, the deal is cinched, but the time it's not time yet. The deal is cinched, but it still has to, the approval and all that stuff from the federal government and whatnot. So there's a lot that they have to do with that. And then on top of that, they've already written these movies for being what they are. So you're talking about going back and doing massive rewrites, which is always a scary thing. What, just to incorporate the X-Men? The X-Men and the FF are going to show up. Remember, Phase 4 is going to be cosmic. So they're already talking about, yes, the Eternals are a guaranteed thing, which means that Darkhawk is probably going to be a guaranteed thing. And who's some of the most cosmic, regular comic book characters there are? The Fantastic Four. But on top of that, don't forget, the X-Men spend just as much time in space fighting large swaths of aliens as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's always talking about the Avengers are always off-world. And are the X-Men ever on-world? They not only fight out in space, they'll fight through time. So don't even give me that. The X-Men are all over the place, bruh. So, yeah, I promise you, the X-Men are definitely coming. There's no doubt about that. I don't have to be an insider to know that. Let's see, the movies take more than -6 months to come out. More than -6 months. Well, that's a double negative if ever I read one. Yeto, his trademark gruff attitude and sneer. Clint Eastwood, talking about Wolverine, obviously. From the natural anger he can project. There's a YouTuber, Sebastian says, named called Spare Time Comics that reviews You Get the Point. I'm subscribed to it, but there are less than 10 subscribers. Do you mind checking it out? We can check it out. What do they call it? If he's got less than 10 subscribers, it means he's not been around, he's not been established long enough. And understand, I will never team up with somebody like that because it would hurt the channel. I'm not talking about my channel, mind you. I'm talking about that person's channel. He, she, whomever. It will destroy that channel because, like, he doesn't, if he's only got 10 subs, he definitely doesn't have his voice yet. You know, so he doesn't know who he is yet. Anybody with less than, like, 300 subs or less than 500 subs in general, they really just don't have their voice yet. Once they start to get bigger, that's when they've got their voice. That's when it's not just them looking up and going, I don't like it when I join up with another channel, just do a guest appearance or whatever. It's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, let's talk about this comic book, whatever. And they're just like, oh, well, Professor Bill is with us, and he's really awesome. And he's got a bunch of just like, whoa, dude, you're literally, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get the few subscribers that you have to come over to my channel and abandon you? Like, what are you trying to do here? Don't do hero worship. I'm just a jackass on the internet, just like everybody else who's on the internet. You know what I'm saying? No, don't do this. So I absolutely would not, try and help out the channel in any way because I would only ruin it. It's a part of physics. Observed, anything that's observed. What do you call it? It's not Schrodinger's law. It's the layman's term is the law of observation. I can't remember what it's actually called in the field though. But anyway, everything works the way it's supposed to work until you observe it, and then it changes inexorably. So we'd never know what the channel could actually grow to be if it knew that I was watching. Because then all of a sudden it would be like trying to appeal to me. You know what I'm saying? So no. Yeah, no. That can't happen. We're all jackasses on the internet. We really are, Brev. We really are. You guys are casting for Batman Beyond. Dude, Michael Keaton. Absolutely. Michael Keaton will return to his role as Batman, or I will boycott and speak out strongly against that movie. Just done and done. Why is Wendell Vaughn Quasar your favorite cosmic superhero? Just curious. Because he's effing awesome. Duh. I'm just joking, comic fan. But no, actually, I'm not. I'm serious. He's freaking awesome. I loved how the story... here's this dude who is this amazing S.h.i.e.L.D. agent, and except that they consider him a risk. They're like, listen, you tested well and everything, but there's just this one thing that bothers us about you, and I don't think that you're going to make a great field agent for that reason. So, maybe just relegate your stuff to desk work. And he's like, I don't even want to be in S.h.i.e.L.D. if that's going to be the case, man. Like, this is like a buddy, not a buddy cop. This is like a cop story. You know what I'm saying? No, I want to make a difference. Otherwise not. Colin Farrell, that's his name. Thank you. What do you call it? What the frick is it? Oh, for crying out loud. I was talking about Wendell Vaughn. So all of a sudden he gets these bracers, and he's pretty cool with them. Like, really cool with them. He knows how to think and use them in ways that nobody else has ever used them before. And then here's the trick of it. They don't come off. They don't come off, so he doesn't know that he can take them off by will. They're always on him. So the S.h.i.e.L.D. is like, okay, buddy, return them so that we can give them to somebody who actually knows what to do. It's like, nope, I've got them, and that's the way it is. You guys are going to have to work with me now at this point. And they do, but then it turns out it's much better than that. He's much better than that. And it's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. And then he goes off, and it turns out that he's actually been chosen. It turns out that he's going to be mentored by a cosmic concept who's existed before. It's not just something that they made up. It's somebody that they're reusing from in the past, Eon specifically. And then the story is just, oh my god, it's amazing, dude. Like, it is a genuinely amazing, well-written story. Grunwald, if I remember correctly, Mark Grunwald was doing those. Like, such amazing writing, such a believable character. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's literally one of the ways that Green Lantern could have gone. It's like a different take. So what else we got here? Cassandra Cain versus Taskmaster. Cassandra Cain. Dude, imitations are never going to be as good as the original. That's just not the way that it works. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely Cassandra Cain. 100%. Let's see. Terry's still in high school and became the new Batman, right? Yes, he was. Donny Cates writing two new titles, Eternals and Inhumans. Whoa. Where'd you get that information, dude? Because that's kind of awesome. Holy crap. Donny Cates is going to be writing Eternals? I guess we're going to see how he does writing these cosmic characters like that. Wow. But I'm looking forward to it. What do you think about Avengers 700? Spam, I did a freaking video on it. I have no idea who to choose for Terry McGinnis. Oh, you know what? I've got an easy answer for that. An unknown. Seriously, that's real talk. Choose an unknown. So this way we don't see somebody else in this role. Instead, we see this person in the role. Like, I always prefer the rule that you take a new talent. Some of these people in Hollywood, they're all fighting for the same jobs and whatnot. You guys are going to get another job someplace. You'll be fine. But Marvel has done a great job of taking, low-level actors and suddenly bringing them up, And they do a great job of it, too. It's like, listen, your first year your first movie that you sign on, you're going to get a minimal amount of money. But if you do choose to come back, and you do choose to kick some booty in that next movie, we're going to pay you a whole lot more, A lot of people would be astounded to find out how little, why can't I remember his name, Chadwick Boseman got paid for Captain America Civil War and Black Panther, the first one. He got an abysmal amount of money for starring in a movie, right? But he's going to be getting paid a bucket load of money for Black Panther 2. So that's actually a big deal, and that's awesome, and I love that Marvel does that. It's like, listen, here's a trust issue, boom, 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 and you're going to become super famous. So, I love that. I absolutely love that. Keaton doesn't have the chin for Batman. Maybe Bruce, though. It doesn't matter, man. It's Batman Beyond, so he'll be old. He's not going to put on the suit. He's just going to be Bruce. In a chair. With a cane. And a Doberman. My question is, who are we gonna cast with the dopamine. Nova's my favorite because of Annihilation, made him a badass. No, it really did. Like, his power levels went extreme when he was fighting freaking Annihilus, man. Wow. Michael Ironside for old Bruce Wayne. Okay, Dick actually has a good point. But no, we're going to have to go with Michael Keaton. That'd be a really good pick, though. That'd be a really good pick. Damn, that's awesome. Bruce did suit up once in Batman Beyond. No, I remember. And in the comic book, he suited up. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, so that's about an hour. That's an hour. We're right on an hour and 18 seconds right now. So, yeah, I'm going to boogie out. It was great talking to y'all. And, yeah, my kids were awake the whole time. Maybe you guys heard them in the background. So, yeah, I'm going to, aggressive reaction. You actually jumped on. What's going on, dude? You're just in time for me to leave. What's up, Professor, Captain America, and Miles Morales? Both delivered eye pokes of justice this week. Good point. I like that. Thank you. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the Facebook group. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'll see you guys on Instagram. I've been posting a couple little things there. Plus, I'm going to start, what do you call it? I've been trying to put on a couple of drawings out once in a while for whatever, for just, for the sake of drawing, like, so you guys can see how I'm trying to improve my art, which I haven't been doing in a while. In the past week, I actually did more drawing than I have in the past year. So that says a lot about how much I've drawn in a while. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing any of that stuff. Wow, PA was nice and quiet this entire time. Paula. What do we got? There's a famous YouTuber called Johnny the Hong who's R-rated content about toy reviews, singing, drawing, video games and stuff. Cool. Repost. Oh, dang. Missed y'all about Age of X-Men. Bill, what do you think about Next Gen? They actually commented recently, isn't it time for Next Gen to finally move on to X-Men, like X-Men Junior, something like that. Yeah, boom, post art. Yeah, everybody can post art. That'd be awesome. Tatiana, what's up? Drawing is better than Talkin. Thank you. What's up, Comic Boom? Okay, so before I go, are you familiar with Emmy Han White Fox? Not the name Emmy Han. White Fox does sound familiar, though. Yes. BMA, cool. See you. Oh, Brian. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Anyway, so I'm going to jet. Yeto, talk to me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, all right? And I will talk to all you guys later. Thank you so much. Love, peace, hair grease, all